What's up, dudes? Today we're talking about work knives that are easy to use with work gloves on. These are the gloves that I use every day at work. These happen to be my home shop ones. I just doodled on them a little bit. But they're Tillman brand, medium size work gloves. I get them at the welding supply store. Tillman is a welding glove brand. But these are pretty similar to any sort of leather gloves that you would kind of be working in, I think, usually. They're not like the long work style welding gloves. They're just kind of regular work gloves. So I don't often use knives with my gloves on, but I do sometimes. And I've definitely noticed there's a few different locking mechanism combinations with deployment methods that work way better with gloves on, and some that are pretty much impossible to manipulate if you're wearing work gloves. So let's get out. I want to try a bunch here, and then we'll kind of get to the ones that I already know work really well. So how about like why am I blanking? Umnumzan from Chris Reeve. I kind of suspect this will not be the easiest, but let's try. Okay, yeah, I can roll it out pretty easy. It's kind of hard to feel where the lock bar is, because, I get this kind of floppy thumb, loose leather here. But actually, it's pretty easy to roll out. A little easier than I thought it would be. Yeah, not too bad, actually. A little bit clumsy, but not too bad. How about a crossbar lock? Here's the TRM Shadow. Pretty easy to roll out. Not too bad. Kind of like hits my other loose leather on my pinky there a little bit. Not bad. Definitely not going to be flicking it, I don't think. Oh, I have to take that back. You can kind of flick it. It definitely feels clumsy and a little bit weird, though. But yeah, crossbar lock, not bad. It's pretty easy to find these tabs. There's varying degrees of stick out, depending on which knife you're looking at for these tabs here. Some of these tabs stick way farther out than others. Obviously, the further they stick out, the easier it's going to be with gloves on. I would say if you got gloves on, just do this. Don't mess with the thumb stud. Just pull down and swing it out with your glove. That's way easier. Yeah, definitely. How about a button lock? This is the Defiant 7, which is the USA-made button lock Talos from Last George. Yeah, not bad, actually. This button is really recessed in there, and it's not the best. Like, I really have to kind of push my thumb in there really far for it to disengage. So not the best, but doable. What about the Vosti, what do they call this? The Vantion lock or something like that? Yeah, these top flippers are going to be really awkward with gloves on. I was able to do it. I don't like this locking mechanism. I never have. It's okay. It's okay. Here's another one. I forget what the name of this one. This knife is. It doesn't say. But yeah, same locking mechanism, different deployments. You can kind of roll it out. Yeah, no, I don't like that. Let's get into some that I know are good. OTFs, I feel like, are pretty good with gloves on. All you gotta do, push forward on that tab. You're good to go. Maybe one of the easiest knives to deploy with gloves on, OTFs. Especially the shootout, because this button, the ridge of it is pretty high. You have a lot of leverage there for your thumb to get behind. You're not kind of feeling around for this small little slider. Like, it's there. Bam. It's easy to find, easy to pull back. There's no repositioning of your hand. You're kind of just already there. Deploy it, you're right there. Retract it, you're right there. Yeah, I feel like OTF is a winner with gloves on. How about Spyderco? I feel like the hole will be nice, but I don't know about the compression lock. Yeah, I can kind of get it, but this is not ideal at all. Yeah, not ideal. Compression lock, no go. What about a hinderer? If hinderers have these big old flipper tabs, oh yeah, real easy. The flipper tab is so big that, again, it's not this tiny thing that you're searching for. You know, it's right there. You pull back on it. It's easy, really easy. Disengaging frame locks with gloves on, not the easiest. It is doable though, but definitely on the deploying, very, very good, I would say. And I think the #1 winner, at least my pick, you know, OTFs might be the easiest, but I'm not a huge OTF fan. The #1 knife that I think is the best with gloves on is a Demco with a shark lock, specifically the 80/20. We'll try the other smaller ones, but here in a minute. But so easy to roll out, so easy to disengage. Or you can just do this too, if you don't want to mess with the, with the hole. But so easy to roll out. The slot is large enough. Just put your thumb anywhere in this general vicinity, roll it out. When you want to close it, put your pointer finger up here, pull back, it's done. You're done. So easy. And with the shark lock, you can almost do this too. Just like, Oh, it's kind of hard under the camera. But yeah, you can just kind of use your, what do you call that? Centrifugal energy, centrifugal force to get it out like that. But that's, I don't know, honestly, it's easier just to pull down the shark lock. Just swing it out. So yeah, and not only is it really easy to deploy, but this is a fantastic work knife, just even if you don't have gloves on. It's just all around an amazing work knife. Let's try the 20.5. Yeah, still pretty easy. Everything's a little smaller and not quite as easy to find. You know, the shark lock tab is a lot smaller. And this is the slim. The full-size 80/20, this is even thicker. So probably even easier to find with your gloves on. Easier to grip with your gloves on. So yeah, this one, yeah, it's not bad. But it feels a little more crammed, you know. With gloves on, you kind of want to be open. You don't want to be like manipulating tiny little things. And then the shark cub, yeah, feels kind of awkward. It's too small with gloves. I mean, doable. I mean, all these knives are doable. I could get them open and cut with my gloves on, but we're talking about ease of use here. So yeah, I really think it's the 80/20. Again, I really think an OTF is the easiest, but I'm not a big OTF guy. If you are an OTF guy, awesome. I'm just not really. So I think my pick would have to be the 80/20. Super, super easy to manipulate. What other options do we have? How about the Vosteed top liner lock? The raccoon. The button on this really sticks out, so very easy to find with your glove on. Really easy. What else? How about the Demco, or sorry, the Quiet Carry Drift Large? Again, frame locks not the easiest with gloves on. Doable. Yeah, not bad actually. Yeah, it's just disengaging with the frame lock is awkward. So, yeah, that's probably about it. How about like a smaller, or I mean, there's always backlock Spydercos. I mean, with the hole, it's easy to roll out. With a backlock like this Native 5, pretty easy, I would say. It's a little hard to kind of cram your thumb down here to get in that hole, but you can. But again, not ideal. The Shaman size is good. Like, as far as finding that hole, easy. It's just the compression lock. Not great. So yeah, that's what I think. Obviously, we're just going off of things in my collection. So there's other knives out there. Let me know if you guys have... Wow, it feels so much better to get the glove off. If you guys have a work knife that you like and have found that it's really good with gloves on, let me know in the comments. I'd be curious to know. Like, again, I don't cut with my gloves on that much, but I definitely do. And definitely when it starts getting really cold out in the winter times, I definitely have my gloves on more often during the day. And I definitely run into situations where I need to cut something, definitely. And you can always take your gloves off, sure, but you don't want to. Then your hands are going to get cold. Now, I know some of you are thinking, what about fixed blades? Yeah, I mean, I guess the only issue with fixed blades would be pulling it out of the sheath with gloves on. And every sheath is different, you know, the amount of handle that's sticking out. This one I think would be pretty easy. Let me grab some other fixed blades really quick. We got the Alpine from Axial. This is a Kydex sheath where you have to push off with your thumb. Not the easiest with gloves on. Not the easiest with gloves on. Bradford Guardian 3, I feel like this would be great because it's a horizontal on your belt. You can kind of just hook your pinky, pull out. That's really easy. Kind of a traditional downward pointing sheath. Might be kind of hard to get your hand around the handle to pull. Yeah, not the best. Here's an in-pocket sheath with a lot of handle sticking out. This I feel like would be pretty easy. Still, you do have to kind of push off though. That's not ideal. It is doable. Not ideal though. So I think as far as fixed blades, at least the ones that I own, this horizontal carry Bradford would be probably the easiest with gloves on. This is so easy to draw out quickly. I usually carry it like toward the front of my body, like kind of to the right of my belt buckle. So it's literally just right there, just bam. So there you go. That was my video idea for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video if you did. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.